Hi everyone, Tom Wolf here, and in this video I'll be showing you how to create this soft digital pad in Omnisphere. This is a preset called Enceladus Rise, and it was included as a free download in the Synth Vault in August 2022. Let's have a look at how to create it. So let's start with layer A, and on layer A we're using the Synth Engine, and we're using one of the digital wavetables from under the Bell category called Frigid. Now that sounds like this. So it's quite a bright wavetable. You can probably hear we've already got our amp envelope set. So if we come to amp, you can see we've got our attack set to 6.79 seconds. We've got our sustain all the way to the top, so we're not really using our decay. And then we've got a nice long release of 4.77 seconds. So we'll start by modulating the shape of the wavetable. For that, we're going to be using envelope 4. Now the reason that we're using envelope 4 is because this is the polyphonic mod envelope. We've also got the mode set to note, which means that we will get a new envelope for every note that we play. So over here we can easily see what our envelope is set to. So we've got the attack set to about 6.79. Again, we've got the sustain all the way to the top, and we've got the release set to 4.77. So those are the same settings as our amp envelope. You can see the amount that we're modulating this is set to 0.247 as well. So when I play this note, you can hear we're just getting a little bit of modulation there. Now normally with Omnisphere, when you move the shape slider, you can see the shape changing up here in our waveform view. When you're modulating it with a modulator, you don't actually see that, so you can't see it moving. You don't get that visual representation, but you do hear it, of course. Hear it morphing through there. We're then going to be using the filter, and we've got the filter set to low pass filter juicy 12 dB. We've got the cutoff set to 0.786 kilohertz. We've got just a tiny bit of resonance there, 0.071. We've got key following set to halfway, and we've got the envelope following just above halfway, so that's at 0.575. If we come to our envelope, we can see we've got the attack set to just over 10 seconds. We've got the decay set to the same time. The sustain is down to 0.6, and then we've got a release of just over 8 seconds as well. So that's just softening off some of the kind of harsher, brighter sounds in the wavetable. Now let's look at layer B. So we'll switch on layer B, and in layer B we've got this wavetable called KO Bell. So this again is in the digital wavetables category, and it's under the bells category. And that sounds like this. So this wavetable gives us a very soft, sine-like quality. We're then going to be modulating the shape of this wavetable. So again, this is being modulated with envelope 4. So that is, again, our polyphonic envelope. So let's unmute this, and you can see the amount we're modulating it by is set to 0.661. So that's really opening up this soft sine wave sound and giving us these sort of dissonant harmonics over the top of it. We're also going to turn on the Unison Engine. So if we come over here and switch that on, you can see we've got the depth set to 0.512, the spread all the way to the top, and we've got the detune set to 0.073. So we're only getting a small amount of detune here. So the Unison Engine is giving us this really kind of thick, warm sound here, and it's really opening up that wavetable into something a lot bigger and really, really digital sounding. Lastly, we'll run this through the filter. So again, we've got it set to low pass filter, juicy 12 dB, and the settings are set to exactly the same as on layer A. So that's giving us a nice soft organ kind of sound. So now let's look at layer C. So we'll switch off layer B and come over here. So again, we're using the synth engine, but this time we're using one of our classic analog waveforms. So this one is from the sawtooth category, and it's the ARP Odyssey Saw. So that sounds like this. So from that, we get quite a thin sounding sawtooth wave. We're then going to turn on our Unison Engine, and for this, we've got the depth set to 0.071. So we've got the depth very low there. We've got the spread all the way up to top, and we've got our detune again set to 0.073. So that's really fattening up our sawtooth wave there as well. Now let's switch on the filter. So again, we've got it set to the juicy 12 dB, but this time we've got slightly different settings. We've got the cutoff set to 0.213 kilohertz. We've got the resonance set to 0.071. We've got key following up to halfway, and then we've got the envelope follow to 0.395. So that's giving us quite a warm analog sound. So let's add in both layer A and layer B. So if we start off with layer A on its own, it's quite a soft sound there, but with a little bit of bite to it. Then we add in layer B. We get this kind of soft digital warmth that's kind of coming in there, which has a very sort of brittle edge to it, but fattens it quite a lot. And then we'll add in layer C, our sawtooth. So that's kind of adding in just a little bit of depth, a little bit of warmth, and just boosting the sound of the pad quite a bit. So then let's have a look at our effects. So we'll come over here, and we're just going to come over to our auxiliary. So firstly, we've got a chorus echo. So I'll turn our aux return up. So we're sending this feed from the common. So that is set to 0.5, the aux send there. So this is giving us a little bit of chorus echo. We've only got our mix set to just over 40% there. But now if we turn on the Proverb, we've got the wet mix set to 100%. So we're going to be getting a completely wet reverb signal here with a little bit of kind of chorus echo happening before that. So that gives us this lovely long ambient sound. So with the Proverb, we've got the size set to 41. We've got the time up to 13,803 milliseconds. We've got the pre-delay set to 14 milliseconds. We've got the density all the way up. And then we've got the diffusion all the way up as well. Lastly, we've also got some valve radio on the mod wheel. So let's set that up. You can see we've got valve radio here on our auxiliary. So we'll unmute that. And then we're going to show modulation, wheel, And let's unmute that. So you can see we've got it set to 100% there. So when the mod wheel is closed, we're getting absolutely no valve radio filtering, but when it's fully open, we're getting it 100% filtered. This is set to, we've got 2,859 hertz there on the low pass, and then we've got the high pass set to just over 800 hertz. We've got the Q set to 1.89 and no drive happening here. We've then got the same on the common as well, the common effects. So let's unmute this. And again, we're going from completely dry to completely wet, and we have the same settings here. So if you put all of that together, it sounds like this. So that was how to create the preset Enceladus Rise, and hopefully you found this tutorial useful. If you are an Omnisphere user and you'd like to get brand new free presets to download every single month, then head to synthvault.net now. Before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe and ding the bell to be notified about my next tutorial. Until next time, take care.